Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids for what is probably the most hyped event I can remember in Raid Shadow Legends. It's crazy. The Swordmaster's Path is finally live. It's up for the next 4 days. We're going to look at it here today and break down how much it's going to cost and the best routes to take through it. So as we can see coming in here, to be honest with you, it's actually relatively straightforward. The paths through the path, they're just very expensive, right? But as you can see on the left-hand side, going past this one lock, we do have Leonardo, the champion. He is going away possibly forever, never coming back to the game, never obtainable again after this event ends. I think it's early in the week, next week. So we've got literally just a few days left, and he is insanely strong, but he is 80,000 points. Extremely expensive. On the right hand side, basically a complete mirror in terms of cost, but with slightly different rewards. We do have his 5-star soul. That's 50,000 points, so it is 30,000 cheaper. And then in the middle, that's where you're going to be going grabbing some keys. And we've got some big rewards in there as well. A mythical skill tome is good. 100 mythical relic fragments is very good. And then, of course, an eternal soul stone. So this can be very expensive if you want it to be. How do you get points like this? So getting artifacts and accessories, so dungeon divers, and summoning champions from shards. Now this is exactly the same as the Path of the Lost, which was the event for Balar the Lost. It's exactly the same points. He is just a bit more expensive. The champion is more expensive than Balar was. But it's the same amount of points, the same bang for your buck, as it were. So yeah, let's dive in. Here is the path in its entirety, and let's look at a couple of the routes. So as I said, bam, here we go. We're going for a nice Leonardo blue. This is your first route. You can obviously pick whichever brew you want at the top, but pick whichever one you're using most, have least of. And again, here in the middle, you can pick whatever you want out of the oils, the mythical forge things, or the extract. Doesn't really matter. We need to go there anyway to grab the first key. It's not too expensive, really. It's pretty cheap to do this little detour. Not a big deal. And then we're going to go down the left-hand side. And again, there's no real choices here. And to be honest, most of the stuff you're getting along the way is pretty good. Like, not amazing. Like, the 4-star chicken's kind of bad, but the rest is fine. It's just mostly coins. A legendary book. And there you go. Leonardo himself. How much does it cost? That's the big question. Well, it's going to be 112,500 points, which is 25 sacred shards worth to get Leonardo. Now, obviously, you can mix in some dungeon divers. You can mix in other shard types to try to get there. I know 25 sacreds is a huge amount to have saved up. I guess quick question as well. Is it worth it? Let's say, okay, Nub, okay, here I am. I can show you how many shards I have. I've got enough to do it, but I have 25 bang on. I'm going to be stretched to do the soul as well. We'll come to that in a second. But let's say you're coming in here. Let's say you don't have the 25. You got less. You say, Nub, I could get Leonardo. But to get him, I'd have to summon all my ancients, all my voids, all my primals, all my sacreds. I have to spend all my gems grinding dungeon divers for points. I'm going to have to go absolutely crazy, all out. I'll have to spend basically all of my resources to get Leonardo. Is it worth it? I think if you have the other 3 turtles, 110% yes, it is absolutely worth it. It's more than worth it. I would go crazy to get this champion if I had the other 3 turtles. Honestly, even if you don't have the other turtles, he might arguably still be worth it. He's still a really good champion. Of course, it's with the turtle combo that he really pops off. But yeah, I mean, it's probably worth it even without the turtles, to be honest, 25 sacreds, because he is a very good Void Legendary who you can never get again. He's still really good on his own for lots of content. It is like the multi-turtle combos, though, where he starts to really become like stupidly strong, and the strongest Void guaranteed we've ever had at that point. So there you go. That's him. I will obviously get him today. I'll put out a guide for him tomorrow. We'll build him up, etc. Right, so there's that path. Anyway, for his soul, so basically adding it on at this point is an extra 5,000 points. Is pretty cheap. Again, you can pick whichever one of these you want the most. And then grab the key. So the keys are not too bad. It's just like a small extra. It's sort of like a 1 sacred shard tax to get each of the keys, which is vaguely annoying, but it's not the end of the world. And then you just come down the right-hand side. And again, very simple. Go down the right-hand side. You're getting essence this time and a 2-star basalt, sure. Legendary book, and you get the soul. 50,000 points. So that would be an additional, on top of that, an additional 82,000 points, almost 83,000, but 18.4 sacred shards additional on top of it. So yeah, there you are. I mean, look, it's basically the difference. If you already have Leonardo, you can just go for his soul. It's a decent chunk cheaper. Effectively, it's 30,000 points cheaper, which is a little bit more than 6 sacreds, right? So it's, yeah, whatever, 6.6. 6.6, I guess, sacreds, or 6.5 sacreds cheaper to go for his soul versus going for the champion. Obviously, the soul is no use whatsoever if you don't have the champion. So only go for the soul if you have the champion. You won't be able to get the champion again very soon. Whereas if you have Leo, his soul will always be available as something that you could pull from soul stones. If you don't have Leo, you won't be able to pull his soul from soul stones, but you wouldn't want to. It would be useless to you anyway at that point, unless they ever rerun the collab, which they might not. And then I think finally, the other thing I want to highlight here would be the yellow path. I do think that the barrel is better than the 5-star chicken. I think the mythical tome is better than both, but it is a good chunk more expensive, 11,000 points extra. But this would be to come in and grab 100 mythical relic fragments. Now, if you've gone this far, you are probably out of resources. That being said, it is a good expenditure in the sense that it would be 39,000 points. You'd be looking at 9 sacred shards, but getting an entire mythical relic chance out of that for an endgame player is worth it. The likelihood, funny enough, that you get something useful out of 9 sacreds endgame, even not even 9, 8.5. Let's even say 8 and a bit of Dungeon Divers. 8 sacreds, you're probably getting a bunch of epics and maybe a legendary that's probably useless. Whereas a mythic relic chance, sure, 80% of the time you're getting something that's probably not useful at all, probably pretty much useless, but 1 time out of 5, 20% of the time, you're getting that mythical relic, and that could be hugely impactful for your account. So I would say if you have all of these resources stockpiled, if you've got a crazy, crazy stockpile of shards, 52 sacreds or equivalent, is it worth doing this whole path? My answer is yeah. If you have the other 3 turtles especially, yeah, I would try to do it all. I would try to do everything. If you have the shards, even if it leaves your account totally empty, it is absolutely worth it. Now, whether you look at that and you say, well, I don't have the shards, but I've got real life money I want to spend on it, that's a whole other question. I'll leave that up to you. It sort of depends how much money you have, how much you're happy to spend on the game. Like, I don't know. That's something you got to work out for yourself. But if you have the in-game stuff already, it's definitely worth it. Definitely getting the champion and his soul and grabbing the mythical relics. As I said here, it's about another 6. Did I add that up right? No, I think I actually slightly. I think it's. Let's say it's. I think it actually might be 6. Hang on, let me double check. Hang on. Yeah, I was certain I added that up wrong. Yeah, it is 60. Mythical brain fog. So if you were to, instead of getting the barrel, if you wanted, and let me actually draw this in orange. What color orange was I using up here? Let's just grab that with the dropper. We say, okay, forget this. We're going this way instead. And then we're going to grab this as well. At that point, you'd be looking at 60, right? 60 sacreds to get pretty much all the good stuff. Now, you could even spend more if you wanted to max out the path. I don't think the rest would be all that valuable, but you could get it if you wanted. I think, you know, just for whatever, the badge for maxing out heroes paths, right? If you care about badges, you just want to max it out for the lols, you're a Saudi oil prince, you know, go for it, man. You know, an extra few, say it might be 70 sacreds to do everything. You do you, right? But yeah, it would be 60 to get the mythical tome instead of the barrel, and to get the eternal soul stone, which again isn't dreadful when you've gone that far in. An extra 8 sacreds for a mythical tome and an eternal soul stone is actually it's fine. It's sort of the cost of getting there in the first place. So yeah, that is the path. As I said, it is very expensive, but the rewards are extremely strong, extremely juicy. Hopefully you have enough to get this. I mean, we've been talking about it probably too much. You know, I've seen so many comments of people just really annoyed, being like, when will this Leo thing be over? I'm so sick of everyone talking about Leo and whatnot. I Yeah, so I get it. Now that being said, he is really good. We've been talking about saving up, stockpiling resources for basically the entire TMNT event just for this situation. I actually do think if you have been prepared and you've been preparing, and I don't know what I did to this blue. Oh, I turned the opacity to 50%. There we go. If you've been preparing the whole time, I think having 25 sacreds or the equivalent, again, you can mix and match. It doesn't have to be 25 sacreds. You can mix in other shard types, some dungeon divers as well. You've got 4 days to do it to of free energy that you're earning over the 4 days, slamming that into dungeon divers at the most efficient sort of places for you. Be like probably stage 20 normal dungeons, I think is typically the way to go. Let me know in the comments, but getting Leo is really good. Quick bit of stuff here. I will who is this? So this was shinning fish, a shinning fish on Raid Shadow Legends 4 months ago on the subreddit. This is a quick, rough calculation for resource needed for the Balar Hero Path. Now, obviously, this is the Balar one. Leo's one is more expensive, but the points per energy, etc., are all the same. So, for example, to give you a rough gist over here, it was 92,000 points for Balar, which is 21 sacreds. Again, it's going to be about 25%, about, yeah, 25% more expensive for Leo. 112, 25 sacreds. So it's slightly under 25% more expensive, but take that as a rough rule of thumb. You're looking at about 51,000 energy. So if we do rough rule of thumb, we say 51,000 and we multiply it by, let's say, 1.25, you're looking at about 63,000 energy to do it purely in Dungeon Divers. It's unlikely you've got 63,000 energy. Who knows? It would be, again, let's say 15,600 gems multiplied by 1.25. You'd be looking about 19,500 gems worth of energy, which again is probably unlikely that you have it, but I mean, it can add up. Like, so for instance, I mean, I've got 8,800, and is it worth bankrupting yourself, spending all your gems to grind this out and do it? Again, I would say yes. Yes, it is. Well, is my take. But guys, let me know your take in the comments down below. What do you think of this path? Are you shocked at the cost? Personally, for me, I'm not shocked at 25 sacreds for Leo. I was expecting 20 to 30. And I was really I was in two minds, really. I was thinking, okay, Leo's just extremely good, extremely hyped. That's pushing me towards 30. But then again, it's, you know, just the bad vibes from putting him at 30 or higher. They could have even gone higher, making him crazy expensive because he is that good. Would leave a bad feeling in the mouth, because then it's this limited edition champion that you can't get, locked behind. I mean, it's already, let's say, a fairly absurd paywall, but an even more absurd paywall. There's only so much absurdity one person can take. I think 25 sacreds is like, okay, it's high, but it makes sense to me. It's sort of expected high. It could have been, I think, a lot higher, and I definitely think he's worth it. But yeah, let me know. What do you think down below? Are you going for his soul? I'll probably put up a poll, actually, when this video goes live too. Are you going for his soul, for him? Are you going for everything? What are you going to do? Yeah, what are you going to do? Let me know in the comments as well. But that's what my plan is. My plan, I'm going to try get all of this stuff. I don't know if I'll be able to do it exactly. I have to go now and calculate my own points. I don't know. I hopefully will be able to do the blue and the red path at least, and then the yellow path would be a nice juicy bonus. I probably won't be able to do the orange. That's fine, but I would like the mythical relic materials. We'll see. Guys, thanks for watching. Good luck with the path. I will see you possibly later today for shard pulls. And yeah, I will definitely try to be getting Leo today, and stay tuned for a showcase tomorrow. I think he's going to be stupidly strong. See you guys then. Have a good rest of your day, and goodbye.